Exactly. That's all we all want. We want to be validated. We want to be heard. I want you to meet Kay and her husband, Mitch. They had a situation where they were very frustrated, and that's their little daughter, Lindsay, who is so beautiful, and she's being so good. And actually, it was a situation concerning Lindsay, right?
Right.
Where you went to an emergency room and were not satisfied with the care you got?
Right.
What happened that disturbed you?
The doctor examined her for just a matter of minutes.
What did you take her in for? What was going on?
Severe abdominal cramps. She was in excruciating pain. She would pull her knees up and just scream and was hurting so bad. And he came in, just looked in, I believe he looked in her throat and listened to her chest. Never examined her abdomen, the purpose of her being there.
And what did he say to you?
Very little. He was a very cold doctor, had very little to say to us.
He wouldn't acknowledge our questions when we asked him.
You'd ask him a question and he'd have no response?
Mm-hmm.
He left the room, and he never came back. She was vomiting all over us. She was just in excruciating pain. We heard him.
Mommy.
Your daddy and mommy, yeah, they were taking care of you, honey.
We heard him order the same test. There were 3 people in the emergency room. Another child, a grown woman, and her, and we heard him order the same blood test before he had even looked at it.
Daddy, Mommy.
And
so you decided that this was unacceptable.
yes.
And what did you do? Did you make a formal complaint, or what happened to little Lindsay after this? I mean, obviously she wasn't cured.
He sent us home with a prescription.
All right, who did you complain to?
We called the hospital to attempt to get some more help, and we gave up. And then we called a larger hospital, and they insisted we bring her over immediately. And we rushed her over there, and they immediately started treatment, which apparently just saved her life, as far as we're concerned.
And what did they diagnose her with?
Intussusception. It's where the large intestine, the colon, starts telescoping inside of itself, and she was just within a few hours of losing 80% of her colon and living with a colostomy.
You don't mean it.
Mm-hmm.
So you complained to this medical facility, and did they listen to your response?
Yes, I think that was the last day the doctor worked there.
The hospital administrator that spoke with our producer said, quote, "This doctor's work was contracted by our hospital. Because of the event of the Riffles' daughter and a few other patients, this doctor has not since been scheduled by our hospital, so your efforts paid off, good going." And they say incidents like this cannot be overlooked, and they encourage people to speak up when they feel they've been treated poorly. They say, if we don't know about the problem, we can't fix it. So, you know, chances are, if you had just allowed yourselves to be intimidated, this may still be going on.
Yes, that's what we feel.
So is there a protocol for complaining, folks? I mean, can you help us out here?
Well, you can complain to the facility as they did. You can also complain to the state or county medical associations or societies, as well as, for example, the Board of Medical Quality Assurance. And each and every patient complaint is looked at, evaluated, and acted upon. You are not ignored in the least. Be assertive like they were. Take power. This whole show should be about empowerment, taking an active and not a passive role in your health care.
Well, you took an active role in preparation for being here today. When we come back, I want you to pull out that little piece of paper that you've had behind your back. And Dr. McCall, I can only tell you it has something to do with you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We'll be right back.
A daytime talk show exclusive.